We'll begin Unit 3 continuing with linear functions, but now we're actually going to get into graphing them. So we ended Unit 2 talking about the slope-intercept equation of a line, which we had called y equals mx plus b, right? Where the slope was m and the y-intercept was b. And now we're going to use the slope and the y-intercept to actually graph lines. So this first one here, y equals 2x minus 6, this one is already in the y equals mx plus b form. Okay, it's already solved for y, so all we have to do is we just have to identify what m and b are. So m is going to equal 2, and when we graph, we're always going to want to think of these as fractions, so it's going to be 2 over 1, and b equals negative 6. So what this is going to mean for us is when we go to graph, we're going to start at the point 0, negative 6, and then we're going to move up 2 over 1, because slope is always rise over run. So the rise of 2 meant you go up 2, and the run of 1 meant you went right 1. And we'll do that with all these. Okay, this one is already also in y equals mx plus b form, except y is replaced with f of x. It's just function notation. And negative x over 3, you can really rewrite this as negative 1/3 x plus 3. So the slope in this case is negative 1/3, and the y-intercept is 3. So again, for this one, we will start at the point 0, 3, and then this slope of negative 1/3 is going to tell us to move down 1 and right 3. So let's start by graphing these two real quick on the axes down below. So with the A, we're going to start at 0, negative 6, and then move up 2 and over 1. So if we start at 0, negative 6, we're starting all the way down here, and then from there we're going to go up 2 and over 1, and then put another point. And then from there we keep this pattern up. Go up 2, over 1, put another point. Go up 2, over 1, put another point. So what we're doing is we're just always using this whole idea of slope as rise over run, rise over run, rise over run. And then what we can do now is use our handy dandy line tool and graph it. So there's our line y equals 2x minus 6, and then the other one was negative 1/3 x plus 3. So for that one, we're going to start out at 0, 3, and then we're going to move down 1 and over 3. So we're going to start at 0, 3, so that'll be right here, and then we're going to move down 1 and over 3. We're going to move down 1 and over 3. And the alternative to this is, if you think of negative 1/3 as being down 1 and 3 over, remember you can write a negative fraction with the negative sign anywhere, whether it's in the numerator or denominator. So I can also write negative 1 over 3 as 1 over negative 3. And if I think of it this way, I would think of the 1 as positive, meaning I would go up, and the 3 is negative, meaning I would go left. So rather than going down 1 and right 3, you could have also went up 1 and left 3. Bottom line is you have to just make sure you continue to form a straight line, and I am. And then I could just put this line in here also. And let's make this a different color. So there's y equals negative 1/3 x plus 3. So one of those lines had a positive slope, one had a negative slope, right? So these last two, C and D, these are these special lines. So if you remember when we did these special lines, y equals 5, this actually had a slope of 0 and a y-intercept of 5. But you don't even honestly have to worry about that too much. If you just remember that a y equals a number line, it was always horizontal line. And then x equals negative 1, this one had a slope that was undefined, and it actually had no y-intercept. But again, just had to remember that if it was an x equals a number, right, the equation was x equals a number, it was going to be a vertical line. So this one is going to be a horizontal line where y equals 5. This is going to be a vertical line where x equals negative 1. So if you go to graph those, horizontal line at y equals 5, Well, where is y equal to 5? Up here. And then I would just keep going straight across, right, to form my horizontal line. And there it is, y equals 5. And then the other one, x equals -1. Well, where is x equal -1? Right over here. And then I just make a vertical line by moving straight up and down. So then if I graph this one, there's my vertical line. Okay, so I had one rising line, right, with a slope of 2, one falling line with a slope of -1/3, one horizontal line, and that again has a slope of 0, and then one vertical line, which has the undefined slope. So there's my 4 lines on the same set of axes.